It all began on an ordinary Sunday morning, the kind of morning that feels slow and unimportant at first but ends up changing lives forever. Michael, a 35-year-old single father, was driving his little daughter Lily back home from visiting her grandparents. The sun was shining, the roads were clear, and Lily was singing softly in the back seat with her sweet little voice. Michael had been raising her alone for 4 years since his wife passed away. Every day he carried the weight of being both father and mother, protector and nurturer, provider and comforter. And though he tried to hide it, the loneliness often kept him awake at night. As they drove past a quiet stretch of road, Michael noticed a car pulled over to the side, hood open, steam rising faintly. A young woman stood beside it, her hair messy from the wind, looking at the engine with helpless eyes. He slowed down without thinking twice. That protective instinct, the one that always guided him as a father, tugged at him again. He pulled over, and Lily, curious as always, peeked out of the window. "Daddy, is she okay?" she asked softly. Michael smiled at her. "Looks like she needs some help, sweetheart. Let's go see." The woman looked relieved as Michael approached. She explained that her car had suddenly died, and she had no idea what to do. Her name was Emily, and she was new in town. She had no friends or family nearby, and her voice carried that slight tremble of someone used to handling things alone. Michael quickly checked the engine and managed to fix what seemed like a minor issue. His hands worked with the steady confidence of someone who had faced tougher problems in life. "Try it now," he told her. Emily turned the key, and the car roared back to life. Her face lit up with gratitude, and she looked at him as though he'd just saved her from disaster. Before Michael could even say, "You're welcome," Lily leaned out of the car window with her innocent, wide-eyed smile. She pointed at Emily and asked, loud enough for both to hear, "Daddy, can she be my mommy?" The words froze everything for a moment. Michael's breath caught in his chest, and Emily's eyes softened with a mix of surprise and tenderness. Michael quickly tried to cover the moment with a nervous laugh, but Emily bent down near Lily, touched her little hand, and said gently, "You are so sweet." That small interaction planted a seed that none of them could ignore. Emily thanked Michael again and offered to buy him coffee as a way of saying thanks. He wanted to say no, to keep his walls up like always, but Lily, with her hopeful little eyes, insisted. And so they all went to a nearby cafe. Over coffee, Michael learned that Emily was a teacher who had recently moved into town for a new job. She loved books, children, and had always dreamed of starting a family, though life hadn't taken her down that path yet. Michael, on the other hand, shared little, still guarded by the pain of his past. But Lily connected with Emily instantly, showing her drawings, asking her questions, laughing in ways Michael hadn't seen in a long time. Days turned into weeks. Emily and Michael kept running into each other, at the grocery store, at the park, at school events. Each time, Lily would cling to Emily, holding her hand, laughing like she'd known her forever. Michael resisted at first. He was afraid. Afraid of letting someone in, afraid of losing again, afraid of giving Lily hope that might break. But no matter how hard he tried to keep his distance, Emily's kindness slipped through the cracks in his walls. Still, there were challenges. Michael worried about what people would say, about moving on after losing his wife. He battled guilt late at night, wondering if opening his heart again meant betraying the woman he once loved. Emily, too, carried her own fears. What if she wasn't enough? What if she couldn't handle the weight of stepping into a ready-made family? The turning point came one evening when Lily fell ill with a high fever. Michael panicked, rushing her to the hospital. Emily showed up without hesitation, staying by their side the entire night, holding Lily's hand, whispering comfort, and reminding Michael to breathe. In that sterile hospital room, under the hum of machines, Michael realized something: he wasn't alone anymore. Emily wasn't just helping him. She was loving Lily as her own. Without being asked, when Lily recovered, she looked up at Michael one night as he tucked her into bed and said with sleepy honesty, "Daddy, I think Mommy sent her to us." Those words broke the last of Michael's fear. Not long after, Michael and Emily sat together at the park, watching Lily chase butterflies. Michael turned to Emily, his voice trembling but steady with hope. "You've already been more than I could ever ask for. Not just to me, but to Lily. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know I don't want to face it without you." Emily's eyes filled with tears, and she whispered, "I don't want to either." The story that began with a broken-down car ended with something whole, something healed. Michael found love again when he thought it was impossible. Emily found the family she had always dreamed of. And Lily got her wish. So, if you're watching this story right now, let it remind you, sometimes love arrives when you least expect it. Sometimes healing walks into your life disguised as a stranger on the side of the road. And sometimes, the voice of a child speaks the truth our hearts are too afraid to admit.